All right, we're live.
Okay. I'll call to order this meeting of the Wolfe County Board of Education, and we'll start with the roll call. Eddie Rose, Danny Linkus,
Here.
Lee Picklesheimer,
Here.
Jennifer Spencer,
Here.
and Sue Cable's here, and also Superintendent Kenny Bell. We have the item on the agenda for today for the special meeting is to approve the purchase of portable air cleaners and hybrid school plan after they are installed in classrooms.
And if we could, these fellows here join us on the Zoom call. I don't know if there's one or two of them, but if we could just discuss the purchase first and then get into the hybrid after.
Yeah, that'd be good.
They get finished with any questions and presentations they may have.
Who wants to start off, Kenny? Do you want to say anything? or do
Yeah.
you want to-
I've sent the board a lot of information on this, and I'll say a few things and then pass it over to the sales reps. And I've looked and researched for quite some time, and this, to me, appears to be the gold standard that I can find at the best price I can find to help put another layer to protect our kids. There's not ever going to be a silver bullet that is going to 100% protect from everything, but this is a very good layer of protection, and from everything I can find and everybody else that I talk to that knows anything about this, is the best product that we can purchase for the safety of our kids and to kill the virus, and it also will kill other viruses. And I talked a lot to everybody about it. I'm kind of repeating myself, I know, but I'll hand it over to, is that John or Jeff?
This is Jeff speaking. I'm the owner.
Jeff, I'll turn it over to you, and you can say a few words and then take some questions.
No, thanks for inviting me. I think that shows a lot of diligence among the school board and active committee members to have a general interest. I deal with districts across the nation, and I really wish that we had more dialogue like what we're having right now, and I'm open to any questions or feedback that you guys have, because we're kind of excited about this product and about our services and what we have to offer for the school districts.
Can you just give us a good overview of your product and what it does and some of the testing that it's been through?
Absolutely. So Indoor Doctors Environmental Engineering firm, and we can qualify products through our instrumentation, laser particles, and so forth. And we're always on the lookout for proven technology. And the Aris brand stood out because of the FDA certification that the Class 2 medical device, the Guardian Air that you're looking at for the classrooms, and that has significance. So it's not just me or a rep or somebody talking about different data. This is specifically by the Food and Drug Administration with the Class 2 medical device certification. And the laboratory testing that is going on at the University of Texas Medical Branch is what's paired with the CDC through the military lab testing. So it's a legit lab that it went under in triplicate the scrutiny. And it's the only one that I could have found. We deal with a lot of different, people approach us all the time, a lot of different brands. It's the only one that I know of that it's gone and successfully completed testing against the specific coronavirus, the specific COVID-19 type virus. So, yeah.
I have looked for weeks and I have not found another product that has been through testing like that.
I looked at some too, and I was also impressed with it myself.
Jeff, how big are the units and stuff?
Yeah, sure. So the different units, the blaster and the Guardian Air. So the Guardian Air that you're looking at is roughly 23 inches high and 20 wide. And the blaster is going to be a little bit bigger than that. And then the AP 500, think of it as I actually have an AP 500 in my office. I don't know if you want me to kind of shift that. I got two of the products. The Guardian Angel is actually in demo right now in the field with our company. We just shipped the out here. I don't know if you can see. This is going to be the blaster with the hard out on it. Okay.
That would be one for
The
him.
500 is just right in the corner of my office. The white plug-in. And then the Beyond Guardian Air, I can show you a couple images on a shared screen, if you need some fact sheets, but I did send out some read aheads.
So we
Picture
are we,
Picture of a desktop. It's very similar to a desktop CPU for sizing.
Well, on the sizings, we were doing 3 different kinds. The smaller one at much lesser price for offices, and the classroom size, which will cover 2,000 square feet, which is
Right.
will more than cover our classrooms. The blaster covers 20,000 square feet. Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
And it
Yes.
would be, I got 8 of those we're asking for.
Right.
That'd be for our gyms and cafeterias. It's really vital for our cafeterias.
That's the one for the, classroom.
that answers my question. I don't know if we should like get different ones or we're just gonna get one, certain one.
Now, what's the size of the two that you're looking at?
The office one looked to be about like that. I don't know if he can see me. The blaster is about that size.
Well, now, on one of them here, it says they treats areas up to 500 square feet. Is that
That's
the
the
office?
office.
Okay.
And the blaster does 20,000 years at the house. 20,000
Yeah. And the 2,000 is the one we're getting the most of, because that'll go in all the classrooms.
classroom. Which is more than enough to do a classroom.
Yeah,
What's the size of our average classroom? How many square feet?
about 800 or 900 square feet. Would get it when it look, if that's,
If that, I'd say. but-
Yeah.
they're smaller than this room. This room's probably about 900.
Just trying to figure that out.
I think so.
Yeah.
They measured it. It's
I don't-
much bigger than
That's
that.
definitely not on 2,000.
No. I wouldn't think so.
No, 2,000.
Right, I was gonna say that, yeah.
I did not know.
It will more than cover every classroom.
How many of these have you all actually sold?
How many units?
Yes, sir.
Active Pure's 500,000 units annually throughout the company organization. That's kind of what they sell. And it's primarily used in the commercial space up until now. NASA's been a big supporter of it, a lot of commercial medical type facilities, and it kind of branched out based on the studies. And now we're looking at different applications with schools.
I think a lot.
Some of these units that we're looking at, they've not been pressed through, they've been established for some time, or has it required tweaking with COVID, or can you tell us a little bit of the history there?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent question. So Active Pure, you're looking at roughly 10 years of use and studies. The units have not been tweaked at all for the COVID, because they're kind of designed what they are was what they are. So you're not getting a beta version. These things have been in production for a long time. Assembled in America, it's a reputable company. The origins go back to, if anyone's familiar with Electrolux, that was kind of the time with NASA trying to sterilize inside a space shuttle. And it's used exclusively, on the space, International Space Station. And so it's a proven product.
What's the audible decimals, that the output as far as the noise? How does that factor in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have the AP500 running right now. You barely hear it. I'm going to call it 30 decibels below the talking level. And that's going to be pretty comparable to the one that you're going to get in the classroom. I think that's important, because you're not going to have the distraction of learning, if you will. The AP, the blaster, that's going to sound more like a large box fan, because it does have a higher motor, because it is trying to release the hydroxyls in a very large space. So that's going to, get around 55 decibels, 60 decibels.
Jeff, are they pretty low maintenance?
That's my questions.
Are they pretty low maintenance, like, as far as working on them? Is it something that
Yeah.
our maintenance guys can work on, something wrong?
I think I heard about maintenance and troubleshooting. They have a well-established support team as far as sending back any sort of defects. And you get an RNA, get the exchange, so there's no issues on that. As far as the upkeep, it's plug and play. The different bulbs and the filters are anywhere from 1 to 2 years, depending on the model. But yeah, it's very low maintenance.
Okay.
He gave me the prices. I should have sent those to you, the board, on replacement of the bulb filter and one other piece that would need to be done ever so often. It would be about $30,000 to do that replacement.
Is that for everything?
That's for everything on this invoice. And I'm within a few $1,000s, being correct on that. And that's something that we'll build in to our budget. We'll also build into the budget with the stimulus money. If we have an increase in electric bill, we will be able to cover that for the next 4 years, probably longer, because we can hold back a little more by saving it other ways.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, Dan.
We won't let this purchase put us in a financial hardship.
If this is something the board decided tonight to purchase, how long will it take to get those in the schools to be effective? How long will it take those, Jeff, if we decide tonight to purchase those, to get in our schools and be effective?
Yeah, I've been in contact with the production team. They know that your school is a priority. So with a green light with a purchase order, we'd have this fulfilled 1 to 2 days in production on a delivery straight truck to you. So another 35 days from Virginia.
Is that where the manufacturer has Virginia?
Evidently.
How much energy do they use, and what's the recommended run time per day? Is it 24/7?
That's what I would do. Especially if I had a kid going to school, I want it 24/7. And that's what they're designed to do. That's what the warranty's for. That's what the bulb's rated for. That's what the filter life's for, 24/7. Very little energy consumption is going to be less draw. I can give you the specifics if people like that. 23 to 80 watts for the Beyond Guardian Air. The AP 500, you're basically looking at 18 amps, 60 hertz, 13 watts of power. And the blaster, you're looking at 172 watts at 120 volts. So
Now, what's that in Hillbilly Town? How much money is that?
Is that like a couple of light bulbs?
yeah, that's how I think of it. Sure, like a CPU, like literally a couple of light bulbs, box fans, CPU. Yeah.
Jeff, are they pretty sturdy? I mean, as far as they get bumped around, you know how kids are, bump into them, stuff like that. Are they pretty sturdy?
Got to be, yeah, kid proof. I agree. It is sturdy. You got the aluminum housing on the Beyond Guardian Air. And the one thing that I like about those units is that they're pretty innocuous, meaning that they don't draw a lot of attention. There aren't any buzzings and lights and digital displays to draw attention to. So yeah, those things are going to be sturdy.
The other thing I'd like to add, I think all the board knows this, but I've spoken with Fayette County today and sent them a video of this, and they have a whole team of people to look into these issues, and Jennifer knows their department very well. And I sent them the videos I seen on the news yesterday that they'd gotten portable units in their classroom. So I asked them, I wanted to see what they got, if they, what they had found and how to compare to what we're getting, what do they think about our unit. And Myron, this guy there, he texted me back and said that that was the best, and that's what they're moving to. So.
Sir, can you said you have one in your office?
Yeah, we have the Guardian Angels out in the field. I didn't get that back Monday. If I would have had it, Dave would have had it. But I have the blaster and the AP 500 here in my office.
That's the office size. Now, you said it's running right now?
Yes, the AP 500 is running right now.
Which I can hear, I mean, it's not affecting noise wise. I think it's done been asked, but it's no distraction with the noise.
No, we haven't had any noise complaints and wouldn't imagine any. They're going to be quieter than HEPA filtration, like your standard box fan that is a lot noisier.
Now,
So it's probably your quietest purification option.
We're potentially buying a whole bunch. Now, do we get a blue light special, 2 for 1 or?
It's priced in. You guys
Oh,
got a
okay.
heck of a deal. It's priced in.
I'm just kidding.
just so everybody knows, and I think I've told everybody this too, they were originally $24.99, I think, and we're getting them for $16.99. And I priced other models that I don't think are nearly as effective, quiet, cost efficient, anything as this one, that some of them double, most of them double the price.
I looked online at several too, and they were all more than that.
I don't know.
More than this,
They were different technology a little bit, but they were,
comparable units.
yeah, seemed like it.
The question about classroom size, I remember in our last facility plan meeting, most of our classrooms is below a 25 by 30 room and a 25 by 30, 750 square feet. So it would be less than half of the size.
Yeah, we're about double, over double covering is what we need.
Yeah.
We can feel real good about that. Is there any issues with that, Jeff, where we're putting 2,000 square foot coverage in a 750 square foot room? Does that make it better?
No, I mean, it's, you're gonna get more air exchanges, smaller rooms, you're gonna get more disinfection continuously on surfaces. So I think that's really high.
Probably quicker.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Bell, if this is approved, will the classrooms have to be cleaned the way they are now, or will this help eliminate?
I don't think I think this eliminates the need to go in and disinfect all day long like we're doing.
Is that right, sir?
I look at it as part of a safety plan, and you have certain, when you're doing your disinfecting with quaternary disinfectants, which I imagine that you are, and you have dwell time on surfaces, I think that all the standard CDC guidelines should be in place with cleaning and disinfecting, and use this as, a backstop and some redundancy, because it is getting the corners and the edges and things continuously, so now I've kind of stayed the course on your cleaning efforts.
Did you say there's no long-term effects on people that's exposed to it?
Yeah, he'd be a lot better to ask that than me.
Right, no, not at all, no, yeah, all the studies are pets, people, babies, continuous use.
And I've seen, I've read studies and look, as far as the cleaning, what I was referring to would be after school hours, well, that's gonna be running all night. I don't see a reason where janitors have to go in every night and disinfect everything, but if kid's leaving and he's there and a different kid 5 minutes later is gonna sit on that desk, it still would need to be wiped down.
Now, can you talk about some of them that spray the knees, or any of those in this, that's not part of this here?
Was that a question for me? Could it repeat it?
No,
Yeah, it was okay. Any other questions?
I make a motion, Susan.
Anything else?
No, see if they.
any other questions, guys, comments?
Do we want to let him go then?
I'd like to talk to them quickly about motions and almost in purchase orders, we can get it moving.
Perfect.
Make a motion.
Eddie Rose made a motion.
Second.
Jennifer Spencer seconds. All in favor? Any
Jeff, before you go, I'm gonna send you a purchase order, that way y'all can expedite that as quickly as you can.
Absolutely, be on it.
All right,
No.
you can go now, Jeff, if you need to. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, I'll make the same offer that I do with all of our school clients. We have some expertise when it comes to general air quality evaluation and testing. So we offer complimentary reviews of any air quality testing reports. If you guys want, or questions that come up that are, we get calls for soot and fire and mold and water damage and all this other stuff. So, it's part of what we do, consultation. Love the questions and great meeting everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
I just wanted to say something because I was, Kitty and I talked about, not bidding and all that. And he sent me the emails from, Denise saying that it was okay in this case not to bid. And I also talked to Patrick about it. And he said it was fine in this case too. And, so he told me that I'm always worried about how people look at us, you know, since this is such a big purchase. And, I asked him if there was something maybe we needed to put in the record to make it look like we were being fair. And he said maybe to just everyone affirm. I wanted to read this and see what he told us, how to do this. He said, just to be clear, listen, man, that's just to be clear, no board member or superintendent has current business relationship with this company or has plans to enter a business relationship with the company in the future. And then all of us just affirm. So everybody just say, affirm if you agree.
I'll affirm that.
Could you all hear me up there, Jennifer and Lee? Okay. So we just all need to say we agree with that.
You know, Ken, you mentioned a while ago about Patrick and our energy performance things, that you all had thought we were okay, but if it went over, you know, I think you told the exact figure or a guesstimate that, you know, we would potentially be liable for if it goes over, you know, what our contract is with them, and that's the way it is.
What they would do, and I'll answer that in just a second, if everybody wants to affirm, I affirm. That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure we got on record for that. And what he said there is like our energy savings, Jennifer, we was in that several years back. So if we don't make so much savings to pay our payment, they have to pay us. So this could potentially, you know, we didn't know exactly how efficient exactly that they was, but this could push us over the savings amount that they're guaranteeing that we have if you know, putting one in every classroom. So what the attorney told me was that if what they would do is have an engineer go in and look at the exact ratings of these machines, the exact amount of times that they were run, just do the math, subtract that amount, because these were not in place when we did the energy program. Let's say they cost us $5,000 over what they're guaranteeing our savings, and these units cost us $7,000 to run. Well, they wouldn't give us any of that money at that point.
Okay.
But based on what he said, it don't look to me like it's gonna cost maybe $1,000 a year to run.
Can I get a motion, a second on
Well,
this?
can I ask something before we,
Okay.
is this figure, is Dixie Scott, are they part of this?
Yeah, we got
These numbers are figured in.
we got units for Desi Scott's classrooms, and they have 2 offices in our building, so they got 2.
So that's all 5 schools.
The bus garage, I got 2 for there, they have 2 offices there, I got them 2.
Here,
And I got several for the offices, and one big one to put downstairs, not the blaster, but the 2,000 square foot one. And I would like, you know, I'm just getting everybody's numbers over it, you know, we're communicating text message in our administrative chain link. I would like authorization, let's say I'm 5 units short of the office units or something, I'd like to be able to go back and add a little bit to that if I'm missing.
you know,
Susie calls here from Rogers and says, why didn't I get one?
yeah,
You know, we want to cover everybody. And I also think it's important for our parents to see these. We got a lot of kids who are not in school that need to be in school. I think, and parents are legitimately concerned, and I think that this will help parents, some of them, be more comfortable to actually send their kids back to school.
They let the public know you've got
Yeah,
it.
you know.
We will advertise this. Our teachers and staff, once they realize and they research this product and they see what it is doing for them, I think they're going to be really grateful to have these. I know I'm anxious to get them in the rooms with our kids.
I can't understand was they were all gonna be sent at one time.
Did we lose one?
Is that kind of what you all
Well, I thought it
understood?
said that, I thought it said they were giving their advice.
And there's no other company that can come close to that. That
Yeah,
told me that they
That,
could
that
do it.
many, that many units in a 5-day turnaround, that's, you know, that's pretty, you know, that's a pretty well-run company that can do that.
So the other thing that I'd like to talk about, is it okay now, we'll talk about the hybrid.
Did Lee get cut off?
Yeah, one. Sorry.
Lou, maybe you're doing him like you done me last time, where I
Put
couldn't
the
ask
mute
questions. Muted me to where I couldn't say anything. No, I'm just a kid.
It looks like he's still on, but
Can you hear us, Lee?
Hey, stepped out.
Now, Kenny, you said you was gonna send the purchase order today?
So we'll have them things, what, in the next week, yeah?
oh yeah, he's there.
Sorry, I had to step away from the screen for just a second.
We just thought we'd lost you.
So anyway, with the hybrid plan, the governor has changed, his recommendations, and the thing that he is allowing us to do is expanding. We did the 15% plan with the hybrid plan for a while, with the 100% virtual. We had 3 different plans going. It was very confusing for parents and staff. I stuck with it with the hopes that people would catch on. I am thankful, we did get kids in the classroom in social situations using the 15% plan that we otherwise would not have. And I think that was good for some of our kids, and it's good for some of our staff to get out and to be around each other. It's been a long time since people's been isolated. But having said that, the 15% plan is very confusing, switching back and forth. I really didn't have a fix for it. I remember telling Trish, we're usually in the business of removing confusion, but they're just going to be confused. We're just going to roll with this and go. I didn't have an answer. But as of now, what I would like to do is to stick with the hybrid plan. We're either hybrid or we're out. I think it's important to stick a number to that. What I would like to ask the board to approve is hybrid up to 50. At 50, you're 100% virtual. With 25 to 50, give the superintendent some leeway to close. And why I say that, let's say there's a big difference if you're 35 and there's not one case in our schools, and we have these machines in, they're proven effective. But there's a community outbreak at a church somewhere or something. Versus we're 35, but we've got 8 kids in our building who have caught it, and that's part of the spread. Then I would want to close and go virtual. If that makes sense.
Jackie, I would say, because you have information that we don't have. You see who's actually sick, or maybe reword that. You potentially know, who is in the county has got it, where we don't have access. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so I can know, when you say who, I can't know the exact person, but I
That's what
can
I meant
know
to say.
we've got some of your school age kids who are getting it. And then when the health department does notify me when we have a case in our school system. So I feel once we get these in, we're gonna be safer than we was.
I don't see how we can.
I do want to caution everybody, our staff's been vaccinated, and the big thing there about staying in school is quarantine. They don't have to quarantine now. Let's say I get exposed a week from now, I don't have to go on a 10-day quarantine anymore when I'm vaccinated. And neither would the teacher. Before, if we got a case, you were looking at lots of times we'd have 6 staff out. We can't even function.
Again, if you don't mind, say that again about if we've had both shots, or if the staff has.
I think it's a week, it may be 2 weeks. I've heard 2 different numbers there.
Our policy in Fayette County is 7 days.
Yeah.
So after you've had the vaccine, 7 days later, you won't have to quarantine.
7 days, is Ms. Jeffers, that after the second shot or the first one?
After the second,
Okay.
So 7 days, and that, when you're quarantining people, that's really difficult to stay in school. Just with your staff. So staff are not gonna have to quarantine. accommodating for some staff right now. I'm gonna stop accommodations, and people will have to use sick time or personal time if they're not in the building after a week after the vaccines have been completed, which would be next Thursday. So,
Do you have the figured numbers of the staff? You know, what percent actually have got vaccinated?
I don't have the exact figure. I do know that Scott Locker, regional director, told us that we had the highest percentage of staff in the state of Kentucky that got vaccinated. It was somewhere around 80%. It was a high number, and I don't know, I used to know that there's some of them still going. You know, I know Alyssa's clinic right now is doing vaccinations, and I know that she did one of her school staff. You know, they had somebody come and do it, I just don't know who. So I'm not gonna be able to track who gets it now.
Oh, you can't for now? I can't with these units, can it potentially change any of the way that doing school right now? You know, more kids, hopefully, you know, more kids will come in.
I think the parents will feel more comfortable, the word will get out, if people start researching this, and we gotta get the publicity out there and let them know what it does. Let them look at it themselves, because everybody's gonna be skeptical when they first hear about these machines. The more people that get into it and research it and learn and understand what it does, I think our comfort level will definitely grow. And I really think this unit here, that you're gonna find people around the state getting them later.
Well, like I said, we'll be at a school board meeting 2 years from now. Somebody from northern Kentucky will say, you know, we got these units in our classroom that help with this.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion
as well.
We'll change the hybrid. We'll change the hybrid.
Eddie Rose makes a motion to, go with the hybrid plan that Mr. Bell presented. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Jennifer Spencer seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Since that's the only thing on there,
Make a motion.
agenda, Eddie Rose makes a motion to adjourn, guys.
I better second that one too.
Okay. We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Be safe.
See you guys.
See y'all.
Be safe.
So on a side note,